The strongest man in the room is not the loudest one. He is not the man who needs applause, attention, or approval to feel valuable. In fact, the most dangerous kind of strength is silent. It belongs to the man who can walk away without explaining himself, who can be misunderstood without begging to be seen, who can lose people, lose praise, lose validation, and still not lose himself. Most men spend their lives chasing recognition. They want someone to notice their pain, respect their effort, admire their discipline, or finally say, "You are enough." But here is the brutal truth. The moment you need the world to confirm your worth, the world owns you. Hello everyone, welcome to the Magnetic Masculinity channel. In this video, we will talk about why the strongest man is the one who no longer needs recognition, and how silence, self-respect, and inner control can make you more powerful than attention ever could. Now let's get started. Part 1. The prison of seeking approval. Most men don't realize they have spent their entire lives asking for permission. Permission to speak, permission to dream, permission to be respected. They just don't call it that. They call it success, popularity, or being accepted. From childhood, we are quietly taught that our value depends on someone else's opinion. A good grade earns applause, a promotion earns admiration, a compliment makes us feel worthy. Slowly, without noticing, we begin to measure our lives through the eyes of other people. And that is where the prison begins. Because once your happiness depends on recognition, your freedom disappears. You become afraid to disappoint, afraid to fail, afraid to be misunderstood. You stop making decisions based on your own convictions and start making them based on how they might be perceived. Many men stay in relationships that no longer nourish them because they fear being judged as failures. Many continue working jobs they hate because society applauds the title more than the sacrifice behind it. Many hide their true thoughts because they are terrified that honesty might cost them acceptance. That is not strength. That is quiet slavery. The strongest man is not the one who receives the most applause. He is the one who can hear silence after doing the right thing and still sleep peacefully. Because deep down, he understands something that most people never will. Recognition is borrowed. Character is owned. The applause of strangers fades within minutes. The respect you build for yourself can carry you through an entire lifetime. When a man finally stops asking, "What do they think of me?" another question begins to guide his life. Can I respect the man I see in the mirror? That single question changes everything. Because the day you become accountable to your own conscience instead of the opinions of the crowd, you stop living as a performer. You begin living as a free man. Part 2. The moment you stop proving yourself, everything changes. There comes a moment in every man's life when he grows tired. Not tired from working, not tired from struggling, but tired of proving. Proving that he is intelligent, proving that he deserves love, proving that he is successful, proving that he is enough. What most men never realize is that the harder you try to convince people of your value, the more they begin to question it. Confidence never argues. It simply exists. Think about the strongest people you have ever met. Did they constantly remind everyone how important they were? Did they seek attention every time they entered a room? Did they explain every decision they made? No, they didn't have to. Their presence spoke before their words ever could. There is something deeply powerful about a man who no longer feels the need to defend himself. When someone misunderstands him, he doesn't rush to correct every assumption. When someone underestimates him, he doesn't panic or seek revenge. When someone walks away, he doesn't chase. Not because he doesn't care, but because he understands a truth that only maturity can teach. People don't always see you as you truly are. They see you through the lens of their own fears, insecurities, expectations, and experiences. You could spend your entire life trying to change every opinion, and you would still fail. So why surrender your peace to a battle you were never meant to win? The strongest man chooses a different path. He invests that energy into becoming someone he no longer has to advertise. He lets consistency speak. He lets discipline speak. He lets integrity speak. Over time, something remarkable begins to happen. The same people who ignored him become curious. The same people who doubted him begin watching him. The same people who demanded explanations are left wondering why he never felt the need to give one. Silence has a strange effect on people. It forces them to confront their own assumptions. It creates mystery where endless explanations create weakness. The world is full of men desperately trying to be noticed, but the man who quietly builds himself day after day without seeking validation becomes impossible to ignore. Because real power is never announced. It is felt. And the greatest victories in a man's life are often the ones no one applauds because they happen inside him. The day you stop living to impress the crowd is the day you begin becoming unforgettable. Before we continue, take a moment to ask yourself one question. How much of your life has been shaped by the need to be seen, appreciated, or accepted? If this message speaks to something you've been carrying in silence, write "I choose myself" in the comments below. Not for me, but as a promise to the man you are becoming. And if you're searching for timeless wisdom that builds unshakable confidence, emotional discipline, and quiet strength, subscribe to this channel. Because here we don't chase motivation. We build a mindset that remains strong long after motivation fades. Now, let's go even deeper. Part 3. The moment you need recognition, you give away your power. There is a truth that most men discover too late. The moment someone realizes they can control your need for approval, they can begin to control you. Think about it. A boss who knows you crave praise can keep you working harder with nothing more than empty compliments. A partner who knows you fear being abandoned can keep you sacrificing your own needs just to avoid losing them. A friend who knows you desperately want acceptance can make you betray your own values simply to remain part of the group. None of this happens overnight. It happens quietly. One compromise at a time. One moment of silence when you should have spoken. One apology for something that wasn't your fault. One decision made to please everyone except yourself. Eventually, you wake up and realize something terrifying. You no longer recognize the man you have become. Because every time you traded your truth for someone's approval, you surrendered a small piece of yourself. This is why truly strong men guard their inner peace more carefully than their reputation. Reputation lives in other people's minds. Peace lives within your own. One can disappear overnight. The other becomes stronger every time you choose integrity over applause. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only thing truly under our control is our own character. Not opinions, not admiration, not public recognition. And yet most people spend their entire lives chasing the very things they cannot control. Imagine the freedom that comes when insults no longer define you, when compliments no longer intoxicate you, when criticism no longer shakes your confidence, when praise no longer becomes your addiction. That is not emotional numbness, it is emotional mastery. It means your identity is no longer rented out to strangers. It belongs to you. There is an invisible strength in the man who no longer bargains for acceptance. He speaks honestly, even when his voice trembles. He walks away from disrespect, even when it hurts. He chooses solitude over pretending. He would rather lose the crowd than lose himself. And strangely enough, that is the moment people begin to respect him. Not because he demanded respect, but because he demonstrated something that has become incredibly rare in today's world. A man whose self-worth cannot be bought, cannot be manipulated, cannot be intimidated, and cannot be controlled. That kind of strength doesn't come from muscles, money, or status. It comes from the quiet decision to stop asking the world for permission, to become who you are meant to be. Part 4. The loneliness that builds an unbreakable man. There is a part of becoming a strong man that no one likes to talk about. It is not the discipline, it is not the hard work, it is not even the failures, it is the loneliness. Because the moment you stop seeking approval, something unexpected happens. Some people begin to disappear from your life. Not because you changed into someone cruel, but because you stopped becoming the version of yourself that was easiest to control. There are people who only love the man who always said yes, the man who never challenged them, the man who sacrificed his own peace to keep everyone else comfortable. The moment that man disappears, so do they. At first, it feels like rejection. You begin to wonder if you've become too cold, too distant, too difficult to love. But with time, you discover something deeper. You are not losing people. You are losing performances. Every relationship built on constant validation eventually demands another performance, another compromise, another version of yourself that exists only to keep someone else happy. That is exhausting, and no man can carry that weight forever. There comes a day when silence feels healthier than forced conversations, when solitude feels safer than pretending, when peace becomes more valuable than popularity. Many people mistake this season of life for loneliness. It is not. It is reconstruction. Just as a forest grows stronger after a wildfire clears away what no longer belongs, a man often becomes stronger after life strips away the people, habits, and illusions that kept him small. Growth is rarely crowded. The greatest transformations usually happen when no one is watching, when there is no applause, no audience, no one telling you to keep going. Only you, and the quiet battle between the man you have been and the man you are trying to become. This is where character is forged, not in moments of recognition, but in moments of isolation. Every early morning when no one sees your discipline, every difficult decision that earns no praise, every temptation you quietly refuse, every time you choose dignity over attention. These are the victories that shape a man's soul. One day, people may look at you and call you strong. They will admire your calmness. They will respect your confidence. They will wonder how you became so unshakable. But they will never see the countless nights when you questioned yourself, the moments you chose integrity instead of comfort, the tears you never showed, the battles you fought without witnesses. That is the paradox of true strength. The world celebrates the finished man, but only the man himself remembers the lonely road that created him. And perhaps that is exactly how it should be, because the strongest roots are the ones that grow silently beneath the surface, long before anyone ever sees the tree. Part 5. The man who needs nothing cannot be defeated. In the end, strength is not measured by what a man possesses, not by the money in his bank account, not by the people who admire him, not by the number of followers who applaud every word he says. True strength is revealed by what a man no longer needs. The day you no longer need constant praise, you become impossible to manipulate. The day you no longer fear being misunderstood, you begin speaking with honesty instead of hesitation. The day you stop chasing recognition, you finally discover your own identity. Most people spend their lives collecting things they believe will complete them. More success, more attention, more status, more approval. Yet the more they collect, the more afraid they become of losing it. That is the hidden cost of attachment. The Stoics understood something that still frightens the modern world. The less you depend on what is outside of you, the more powerful you become within. Imagine waking up each morning without wondering who likes you, without checking whether someone appreciated your efforts, without needing applause before believing in yourself. Imagine building a life where your peace cannot be stolen by criticism, and your confidence cannot be inflated by compliments. That is freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom to remain yourself no matter what happens around you. Life will still test you. People will misunderstand you. Some will leave. Some will criticize your silence. Others will mistake your calmness for weakness. Let them. You are no longer living to convince people who have already decided who you are. You are living according to principles that no opinion can erase. There is an old illusion that every man must eventually destroy. The illusion that being seen is the same as being valuable. It isn't. Some of the greatest men in history died before the world truly understood them. Some of the wisest voices were ignored during their lifetime. Some of the strongest souls carried burdens that no one ever noticed. Yet they remained faithful to their character, because they understood that truth does not become more true because it is popular, and integrity does not become more valuable because someone applauds it. Never forget this. The world may celebrate confidence, but it quietly bows before certainty. Confidence can still seek approval. Certainty does not. A man who knows who he is walks differently. He speaks differently. He chooses differently. He no longer competes for attention because he is busy building a life that does not depend on attention. He no longer wastes energy explaining himself to those committed to misunderstanding him. He no longer measures his worth by temporary opinions. Conclusion. The greatest victory a man will ever achieve is not earning the world's admiration, it is earning his own respect. When you no longer depend on applause to feel valuable, you become truly free. Life will always bring criticism, rejection, and misunderstanding, but none of them can break a man who knows his worth. Strength is not found in proving yourself to others. It is found in remaining faithful to your principles when no one is watching. And that quiet, unwavering loyalty to your own character is what creates a life that cannot be shaken. The lesson to remember. If there is one lesson to take from this video, let it be this. Stop asking the world to tell you who you are. Instead, become the kind of man who can look in the mirror each night with peace, knowing you acted with integrity, courage, and self-respect. The opinions of others will change with time, but your character is the one thing you carry for the rest of your life. Start small. Keep your promises. Speak less, but mean every word. Walk away from what steals your peace. Build discipline even when no one notices. And every day, choose progress over approval. One day, you will realize that the recognition you spent years chasing was never as valuable as the confidence you quietly built within yourself. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and join a community of men who are choosing discipline over distraction, wisdom over ego, and inner strength over external validation. Leave a comment with the words, "I need no approval." Let that be your promise, not to anyone else, but to yourself. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.